Hi guys, and today I've got for you the new 2023 Suzuki Swace. Now I know what you're thinking. It looks a lot like the previous Swace, which was introduced only 2 years ago here in the UK. And in fact, you're thinking it also looks a lot like a Toyota Corolla. Well, you're right on both counts. This is basically a rebadged Toyota Corolla estate. Although if you buy as a Suzuki, you save about £600 to £700 on a like-for-like basis. Now this comes with a 1.8 litre hybrid, although the Corolla also offers a 2 litre hybrid option as well. Now the Corolla estate is actually built here in the UK, which means this Suzuki is also built here in the UK, which means that Suzuki actually exports it from the UK to Europe and to other markets. Now the Suzuki, the way you can tell it apart from the Corolla, it's got a distinct lower design on the front bumper, and the way you can tell the 2023 model is that there's a bit of chrome on the rear tail lights. Now it's one of Suzuki's core models, but it's not the best seller. That's actually the Vitara, but they still expect to sell about 2,000 of these each year. So what's new for 2023? Well, more power, 15% more power, and that comes from an uprated high-capacity electric motor that increases output from 53 kilowatts to 70 kilowatts, and that translates to a total power increase going from 122 brake horsepower to 140 brake horsepower. And the all-important torque is also up. That's up from 163 newton meters to 185 newton meters. This improves the acceleration rather significantly, I might add, and it drops from 11.1 seconds to 62 miles per hour from rest to 9.4 seconds. The speed is the same, 112 miles per hour, and CO2 emissions are about the same at 102 grams per kilometer, although it's the best in the segment and even manages to beat the Corolla by 1 gram per kilometer. Fuel economy, pretty thrifty, 62 miles per gallon. So it starts at 28,999 for the first of two trim levels, that's the Motion spec, and the Ultra, which is this car here, is £30,799. Now if you get one before the end of June this year, which is 2023, Suzuki will contribute £2,000 towards your deposit of around 4K. That's not bad, is it really? So let's check out the boot, we'll check out the passenger space, and then of course we'll take it for a drive.
Brown car guy. A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
So let's check out the boot space in here. Simply release it from here. There it goes. It's not powered, but look at the size of that. That's 569 litres of space here. Long way down, and in fact, look at this. There's a compartment back here. If you lift that up, there's actually, can you see that? There's actually a compartment in there as well. That's handy. And then of course get ready for this, because if I open this bit, check that out. That is massive. No spare tire, probably a tire repair kit. So that's a ton of room in there. And of course split folding seats. If you knock those down, you get loads more room. And of course you've got the tonneau cover. You can actually, if we open this, there you go, check that out. And then of course you've got here the levers to drop the rear seats if you have to, and hooks as well. So that's handy. Wow, that is very spacious. Let's see what it's like in the rear passenger compartment. Right then, so let's get into the rear of the Suzuki Swace. Here we are, and it's not bad. I mean, this seat is set for me, so that's obviously my driving position. I'm 6'2" with long legs, so you know, I take up a fair amount of room, as you can imagine. So that's my driving position. And the space here for the shins is a little bit tight, but knee room is not a problem. And feet room, not an issue either. Plenty of wiggle room there as well. I feel like I'm sitting a little bit upright, but it's not too bad. I mean, I don't know if I could go a long distance like this, but I think for regular sized people sitting in the front as well, I think it would be fine. But generally, it's okay, it's not too bad, it's about what you'd expect. Some very nice trim here, very nicely done that. It's textured that, you can actually feel that. And it looks like it's quite hardware. And there's of course Isofix chassis anchor points. There is in fact an armrest as well with a cup holders as well. And two vents as well. I don't see any USB plugs, but I know that there's a USB-C in the front as well, and the door pockets looks like they allow for a bottle as well, so that's quite good. Anyway, that's enough of the rear. Let's get in the front. Okay, here we are in the front of the Suzuki Swace, and check out this interior. That's quite nice, isn't it? Like a floating dashboard here, a big old screen there, starter button on this top spec. Let's start it up. You can see what it does. So it comes on there. That's a full digital display. There you have the big screen. You got phone, you got trip info, all of that sort of stuff. Then you got your settings, and that's pretty basic, but you know, nice big screen, easy to use. Vents there, you've got your climate control, fully automatic there. This is your wireless charger. So in this spec model, you get a wireless charger, and that sits over there. That's your on button for that. You got heated seats, both sides. And you've got remotes on the steering. You've also got cruise control. This is radar active cruise control. Your traction control and heated steering button is on this side. All your window controls are there. These are the controls on the steering column itself. Stalks, both sides. And then over here is actually your mode button. So this is the mode button, which you can, I don't know if you can operate from here. Oh no, that actually operates that. Okay, so the mode button on here actually operates this. The mode button for the drive is operating from here. That's your transmission. That's your PNRDB. Your automatic holding brakes, hand brakes and stuff like that. Cup holders. Oh my goodness. Cubby box, deep cubby box. And in here you got a USB-C charger. Plus you got power supply in there as well. So nice seats. Like I said, nicely textured, decent amount of room. This is the leather-like. It's actually quite soft to the touch. That's also soft to the touch on the top there. Nice bit of chrome there. Piano black piece of trim there. Quite nice. I mean, it feels like a proper, solidly built car. You know, it looks like it's, you know, well developed, well engineered. Feels solid, feels tight. Looks nice, looks reasonable. And what do you get in this car? This model, the Motion, actually includes emergency braking, LED rear lamp, 7 airbags, dual zone AC, 8-inch infotainment screen, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, rear parking camera, new digital instrument cluster, and the radar cruise control. And in this one, the Ultra, this has the updated bi-LED projector headlights. The safe exit assist. So basically, like if you're opening your door and there's something there, then it will warn you. So, you know, that's safe exit. Smart door locking, front and rear parking sensors. So this one's got the sensors. And it's got the camera, it's got blind spot monitor, it's got rear cross traffic alert, the center console tray, which I guess is this bit here, and the wireless charger on this one. So it's very well equipped. Actually there's a max luggage capacity, which I didn't tell you, because I did tell you that it's 596 liters in the back, but put all the seats down and everything and you've got 1,232 liters of space. So that's pretty good. Now, seating position is fantastic, just as you'd expect. Over here, there's no issues with space. Loads of room down there. There's a nice place to rest your foot, and you know, no issues with shoulder room, no issues with headroom. The mirror has got, it's nearly a full bleed mirror. That's quite nice. There's some controls up here as well for lights and stuff like that. And this is an alarm. That's an alarm system, which you can turn off for some reason. So that's quite good. There you go. Very nice up here. Let's take it for a drive.
Brown car guy.
Okay, so let's give this thing a little bit of a drive. We're on a really nice road here. It's slightly damp, not too bad, good visibility. We're quite high up. These are undulating, twisting roads, so this is quite a challenge for the car. It's in normal mode at the moment, so let's put it up into sports mode. I think that's more appropriate for a road like this. Oh yeah, yeah, the throttle mapping is definitely different. It's straight away you feel it. It really steps up the response there. But I don't notice any difference in, for example, the steering or anything like that. Just checking it into that corner there, a little bit, like I said, damp, but was maybe expecting a little bit of understeer there, but nothing at all. Very, very stable. I mean, this car obviously is based on the Toyota Corolla, and Toyota have been, you know, building these for generations, if you like, and they know how to build these really, really well. And the Corolla is a very good car to drive. And of course, Suzuki's inherently have always been very good to drive. They've always had a kind of sportiness about them, not necessarily like, you know, fast-paced or anything, but just kind of like an enticing little bit of fun element to them. And this is carrying some of that through, especially on a road like, you know, you can how can you not have fun on a road like this, no matter what you're in? But having said that, I mean, the steering is a little bit light. I would have preferred it to weight up a little bit, but having said that, it's responsive. Not a lot of feedback coming through the steering, not a lot of feedback in general. However, there's a lot of reassurance here that the car is going to be very well behaved, very responsive, very sure-footed. The brakes are solid. I mean, it really, you know, they're very linear, they're very exactly as you'd expect. The amount of pressure you need is exactly as you'd expect. The amount of stopping is as you'd expect. There is no alarm here at all whatsoever. Body control is not too bad. I mean, remember, we're talking about a family estate car, if you like, you know, and you know, if you're expecting it to be roly-poly in a situation like this, it's not. It's fairly well composed. Again, we're not talking a sports car, but for considering what it is, this isn't bad at all. And considering, you know, where we are and what we're doing, there's quite a bit of engine noise. Obviously, it's using full petrol mode in a situation like this, so it's not using electric mode. Except the electric motor there, of course, is to give it more acceleration, is to aid the performance, and that's, I guess, what it is doing. But you know, you can certainly, like, you know, feel it here. But you know, again, the response from the throttle is not instant. It takes a while, and then you can have your foot buried on it, so it takes a while. It's more a case of a momentum sort of building. So it's not like, I wouldn't say it's a punchy car, but I would say it's kind of a momentum car. You build the momentum and you keep it going. But that drone from the engine is not the most enticing thing. It's not necessarily the most inspiring thing, but having said that, it's there. I mean, you know, normally I'm talking to you, I've got the stereo off, but normally I'd just keep the stereo on, wouldn't I? I think that would be the way to do it. But again, decent performance, and we're keeping up speed quite easily, not an issue at all. Also the fact that, you know, we're on these roads, and you know, there's no concern, because it's just a little bit of buffeting there from a lorry that passed the other way. But yeah, I suppose it is a little, actually, to be honest, when I stepped outside earlier, it is very, very windy. Putting the throttle down out of a corner, because the power, the torque doesn't come in that quickly, it's actually not too bad. It's pretty gradual, and there isn't any chance of, you know, wheel spinning or understeer or anything like that. It does very well. So this is extraordinarily well composed and does an extraordinarily good job, considering that I'm pushing it into some kind of a sporty environment here, and maybe expecting it to do stuff that it shouldn't do. Just a quick word on visibility at the front. Is no problem. The bonnet completely dives down out of view, but it isn't. Oh, the wipers just came on by themselves. That's good, because I just got some splash off a lorry going the other way, so that's good. It's got rain sensing or water sensor wipers. So the front dips out of view. The pillar here is quite thick, but it has a little window. It has sort of an A-pillar window there in the corner, so that's quite useful. Mirrors are really good. The rear is a little bit tight because, you know, it's an estate, so it goes a long way back. Then you get a bit of a slot there, a pillar box sort of window, but it's not too bad. Of course, this spec car has a reversing camera on it as well. So what do we think then? I mean, this really good car, to be honest with you. I mean, you can't really fault it. It's at the upper end of the Suzuki range in terms of price, so you have to look at the rest of the range and decide if this is the right car for you. But there's no question that it's a solid proposition. It's going to be reliable, it's going to be dependable, it's solidly well made. You know, you can't expect anything to go wrong with this car, that's for sure. Nor would, you know, any of the Suzuki products, quite frankly. And you know, really, I can't give you any reason not to go for this car. And honestly, with the hybrid system, the fuel economy is great, the CO2 emissions are low, so all round, there's actually really no reason why you shouldn't go for this car, unless you don't really need an estate car. So that's the only issue here. But otherwise, solid car, fantastic, brake option, thumbs up. Let me know what you think of the car in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next review.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here, or right here on YouTube. Just hit these three little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.